Welcome back to the Big Movie Mouth Off. We're going to about wrap it up here. I'm Jimmy Martin with Slug Magazine.
And I'm Jeff Weiss with MSN Movies.
Well, we're going to end this episode with I'd say the latest edition, reboot, whatever you want to call it, The Amazing Spider-Man. Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire are out. I guess they had their differences with the studio and said sayonara. And they brought in Mark Webb, who decided to bring in Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker and Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. It's an origin story again, so we get the whole bug bite. We kind of figure out, we do get the death of Uncle Ben.
Jimmy.
Spoiler.
They're arachnids. They're arachnids.
Oh,
they're not bugs.
They're not bugs? Sorry, spiders. So, but there you go. I mean, it's kind of like I don't want to go into it too much. You do have Dr. Connors, played by Rhys Evans. Who is kind of he's a one-armed scientist who likes to delve into reptiles, wants to learn how to regenerate maybe limbs.
Seen briefly in the Sam Raimi films, played by Dylan Baker.
That's true. And we'll say he kind of turns into a wizard. So.
You're a wanted man, Peter Parker.
You don't believe what the police are saying, do you?
My dad has 500 officers looking for you.
500? That seems a bit excessive. If you're gonna steal cars, don't dress like a car thief. You found my weakness. It's small knives. Oh, it's so simple.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Parker. What did your father do, Peter?
My parents left when I was very young.
Peter, someday you'll understand.
Did you tell the boy about his father?
Dr. Connors. I'm Richard Parker's son.
If you want the truth about your parents, Peter, come and get it. You're ready to play God.
There's been a biological attack on New York City.
So to jump into it, what I love about this film, first and foremost, is the acting and the relationship and the chemistry that Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, I almost called her Gwen Stacy, Emma Stone.
Wow, you really believed her, didn't you?
She's so good and beautiful. No, but and I think at this time right now, I swear you watch this in 4 years and there'll be a huge Hollywood breakup. But right now they're dating, and I don't know if they were dating as they filmed it or if it's because of the filming that their chemistry was that well done, but there's a spark there. And as we're recording this, I've seen this twice now, and it is just so captivating to watch them do this on screen. You kind of giggle with them. I mean, they're teenagers, like they're just having. I think they're probably really in their 20s, but they're playing teenagers in high school.
Oh yeah, he's 28. He's 28.
But he's like, but it's done so well, and I know you're going to attribute to the writing too, with who was brought in, but there's something on there that I didn't get from the other ones. You know what I mean? Just that. Such a connection that I feel for these two guys, that she feels so much for him, doesn't want to see him get hurt. There's a scene where he comes in just ass kicked, and it's just love on the screen. And that's why I love the first part of this film. And then you jump into the actual, just the CGI sequences and aerial stunts, and even the part where they don't even use CGI, that is some stuntman seriously swinging around the world, I think is awesome. It just makes it feel real.
By the way, more Cirque du Soleil performers.
Right. But that's where, we can kind of get into, what's better. You know what I mean?
Oh, why? But why?
Well,
give it its own context.
True.
Because this is not a continuation of the Raimi films.
Completely.
This is a new start, which, for better or worse, means that they have to retell the origin story.
Which they do a good job.
And lay the ground for future films. And by the way, as we record this, the news has come that this is a planned trilogy. A trilogy of films.
It feels like it's gonna be. You can kind of feel that chapter 1 kind of thing.
Yes. Now, and I'm with you on the chemistry and the romance, and I wish I felt the other parts of the film were as strong. In particular, the villain.
No, I'm with you on the villain.
I
don't think I hate him as much.
Oh no! I don't think anybody. I really didn't care for the lizard as an expositional plot device that's used to carry things forward without actually developing anything. And the more I see of the clips of Rhys Evans as Connors and the Lizard, I didn't care for his performance either. And that's, for me especially, that's a huge a huge pothole for me to try and get across.
I long to fix myself. I want to create a world without weakness. Anyone care to venture a guess just how? Yes.
Stem cells?
Promising, but the solution I'm thinking of is more radical. No one?
Cross-species genetics. Person gets Parkinson's when the brain cells that produce dopamine start to disappear. But a zebrafish has the ability to regenerate cells on command. If you could somehow give this ability to the woman you're talking about, that's that. She's curing herself. Yeah, you just have to look past the gills on her neck.
And you are?
He's one of Midtown Science's best and brightest.
Really?
He's second in his class.
Oh.
Second?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, there are things I really liked in it, and I'm not the biggest Andrew Garfield fan in the world, but man, he works here, and he and Emma Stone sell that.
Hey, what I noticed about this thing is just how humble Andrew Garfield is in his character. You know, he's not. I don't know. It just and he's nerdy, but he's kind of shy. Like he's bashful. It just he hits all these range of emotions that are just really just perfect for that character. You know what I mean?
For this version of the character.
Yeah.
Again, if I can liken this film, if people understand comics references, there's classic Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, and the Raimi films were closer in tone to those, especially the early issues. This has more in common with the current Ultimate Spider-Man.
So like
comics.
more realistic.
Yes,
more,
it's grounded would be the term. The
But
term I would
you
use
say
for
that, though, and I don't want to, because there are moments I think in this Spider-Man that have more fun than the old ones when he's in the suit. The more smart-ass, kind of just. He I say picks on people, just pesters them, and gets them going,
But by the way, let me throw this in here too. And he's not getting a lot of credit, and he's not getting a lot of talk. But Paul Feig, the co-creator of Freaks and Geeks, was brought in for an uncredited, but I'm sure quite worthwhile monetarily, rewrite of the script, and you can feel his contributions, especially in those quip moments, and especially in the high school and relationship
any
moments.
scene that takes place in the high school hallways.
He wrote, and you can tell.
And they're really well done.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping they will involve him in the sequels.
But even in the side characters too, I think Martin Sheen is great as Uncle Ben.
I wish Sally Field had more to do as.
But I think she will get more to do.
Right.
I mean, there are some actually. Watching this again, she actually does have some really good scenes. Where, she says, "I can't sleep when you're out at night. What are you doing?" There's some really great scenes. Right. And Dennis Leary though, as Captain Stacy, I think is really good. There's some great moments with him. When Peter Parker's trying to explain that there's a giant lizard running around, and he says, "Do I look like the mayor of Tokyo?" I mean. So
no one could deliver that line like that except for Dennis Leary.
Oh God, I mean the guy's a smartass, But of all the comic book movies this summer, this is the one I was probably the most nervous about. I mean, Avengers were kind of come on, that's Whedon's universe. I'm excited to see Christopher Nolan's, the last chapter of his, saga. But this is the one that I was scared about, and I came out way happier than I ever thought I would have been. And I'm giving it 3.5 stars.
Yeah. See, for you it was amazing. For me, it was just the sort of good Spider-Man.
Sort of good.
I go back.
It doesn't
and
fit
forth.
on a poster.
I go back and forth. I hated the lizard so much that I'm in 2.5 star territory.
Yeah.
But I like the relationship stuff to a 3-star degree.
Spice. Emma Stone, skirt and boots.
Yeah, I know. Flip a coin. It's 2.5 or 3 stars. I'm not sure. 2 3/4 if we could.
What is this, Star Search?
Absolutely.
Jesus.
And I'm Ed McMahon.
All right, well, that's going to do it. Some pretty good films this week,
Right?
I always like it when we don't get too upset. When Adam Sandler's on hiatus is when I'm really happy. But, started it out, backing it up. Savages, I think we both liked it. You know, about
We
two
like
and a
the
half-
villains. We like the
I like
villains.
the villains more than the protagonists, I would say. 2.5 each. Ted, you know, whenever cuddly teddy bear curses at me, it's fine. Totally fine by me. He can make any slurs he wants to. It's just let her rip, I guess. And then Amazing.
And it lets her rip.
Oh God.
3.5 from you, 3 from me.
Yeah, 3.5, 3, and then Amazing Spider-Man, 3.5 from me, and Epic Man gives it 2 3/4 stars.
Yeah. Well, hopefully when we come back from break, we'll have some good things on the horizon. There's a new Ice Age coming. And
You know what I'm more excited about the Ice Age movie? The Simpsons short film in front of it.
yeah,
That's the only thing I'm really excited about that.
and of course a new Dark Knight. So we'll have those when we return.
All right, sounds good.